Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, and Daredevil, issue number 20. Whoo, nitty. This is part two of Inferno. This is the final issue in an arc, a two-issue arc. This is a sick and amazing comic book, man. This particular issue on the cover is called Ascension. This issue in and of itself is called Lift Your Fists and Fight. And that's all that really happens in this book. If this comic book for the previous 19 issues has been too story-driven for you and you just want to see a fight, yo, look no further. Can you just jump onto this comic book? I'm going to say close enough. You're going to get pretty much everything that you need out of this issue, which is a good thing. Comic books should be made so that you can jump on any issue and just get right into it. And that pretty much is what happens here. You might be a little bit confused. Don't worry about it. Just get into this one for all the pure action and then enjoy yourself. I'm going to tell you about some of that action after we talk about who made this comic book. So we got Chip Zdarsky on writing, Mark Checo on art. We've got Mattia Icano on colors, VC's Clayton Cowles doing the letters, Julian Totino Tedesco on cover art, and Will Sliney and David Curiel doing the Marvel Zombies variant cover. Man, that COVID stuff is just messing us up, bruh. We still got Marvel Zombie covers coming out. Anyway, so this was a wicked comic book, man. You have got right in the very beginning, look, right in the very beginning, here's all the story you're going to get. We needed to get a little bit of Ben Urich in here. We need to get just a little bit of Foggy Nelson in here too, right? How do we do that? Because even though the Stromwinds, these rich bastards who are trying to buy, technically legally purchase Hell's Kitchen, the way that they're trying to do this, of course, is by destroying the place and making it so that nobody wants to be here anymore. Burn the whole damn thing to the ground, for crying out loud. Because we got our own thing going. We want to purchase this land. We want to make it into something that's going to be profitable for us because billions of dollars isn't enough. We're shooting for trillions, damn it. So yeah, real estate. It seems like it's just so silly, right? But it's just a comic book version of stuff that happens in everyday life that doesn't get reported as a crime. Cops don't show up at your door if you're trying to do real estate scams. Anyway, so they've shut down social media. They've bought out the police and the fire department. They've wound up shutting down cell services. They've stopped the internet out of Hell's Kitchen. So nothing gets out of Hell's Kitchen. And who the hell wants to go into Hell's Kitchen? Well, apparently one half of the avocados at law wants to go in. Why? Because Urich at the Daily Bugle gets a call from an old woman, just some random old woman who calls up and says, hey, listen, I don't know who else to call because nothing's working. How'd she get that call in? Well, she's old. She's got a landline. Dude, even my grandparents have gotten rid of their landlines, for crying out loud. They trade them in for cell phones because, welcome to the modern world, right? 21st century. Woohoo. That was cool. That was cool. Just a little tiny moment. That was cool. And then we've got nothing but pure action from this point on. Daredevil and Detective Cole go into it. I don't think Cole lasts more than like a couple panels. He's out. He's done. Bye. Been nice knowing you. He gets knocked the hell out. Daredevil starts fighting everybody. Now, Foggy has to show up at some point to hand him back his old friends. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see them. It was to just see these things and be like, wow, how iconic it is, right? You get to realize why Bullseye is the perfect villain for Daredevil. There's a great moment here. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Zdarsky knows these characters. He knows these characters well, and he's just feeding us back his love for these characters right back to us. I love Zdarsky being able to play in the sandbox. One of the things that I really liked about this comic book also was the art. Check this out. Checo, what he does is he does something that's mostly, I don't know about impossible, clearly not impossible. It's always impossible until you do it, right? He takes this horrible, riotous type situation and turns it into this incredible art that it looks like he's tagging the side of a wall with it. It looks like a mural under a bridge, the way that all of this is done, but, with a really good light on it. Probably blame Icano for that. Really great art in this through and through. One of the highlights, now I know there's people who are like, I like this art, I don't like this art, and people who are going to talk about the inverse, right? One of the great parts about this art that lets you know that Checo knows what he's doing as far as drawing is concerned, just the pencils alone. You ever try and draw somebody holding two things in one hand? Like, for instance, a knife and a nunchaku in the same hand? It's not the easiest thing in the world to do without making it look like your fingers are way too long, or the crook of your hand here is just way too, like, what's going on here, right? It's a very hard thing to do, and he does it seemingly effortlessly. It's little details like that that I notice that it's not, I already liked the art, but it makes me look at the art and just say, wow, what else did I miss? There are parts in here where you see the people who are moving and the people who aren't moving. You can kind of blame the colorist again, Icano, for that, man. Woof, good stuff. You can also see just in the art the places where Daredevil's about to strike, either hit you or take something out of one of your pouches or pockets. This was a fantastic comic book through and through. And it's great that Chip just kind of looked at this book and said, I'm going to make this mostly a fight choreography, because I've got this great art team that's really been doing this subtle stuff and a couple little movements here and there and maybe some, street level drama. But I think that they actually need a moment where they can just get into a straight up fight. And we get to see that in here, finally. And it's really good to see that. This was a great comic book, man. Like I said, you just want that action and you want to jump on. Because something happens at the end of this where it's like, oh man, you can already see where this is going. And I'm enjoying seeing where it's going. You want to jump on the comic book right here. And I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.